headphones on because you never know, the audio might not be usable the first 3 times you shoot it. Oh boy! Anyway, 2015. The movie is Hardcore Henry. By the way, it's 2015 again, so some shit's about to go down. Anyway, it's a high-octane action thriller film made by people whose names I'm not going to even try to pronounce and embarrass myself. I like to embarrass myself in other ways, like sitting in my parents' basement and talking to myself. Whole movie is shot in POV style. That's right, it's shot from the main character's perspective, so we never really see the character except for at the very, very end you catch a glimpse of what his face looks like. Spoilers! This movie gets a lot of comparisons to video games, both negatively and positively. At times it feels reminiscent of being in middle school and sitting there next to your friend, watching them play, and then being like, hey, could I try? And they're like, no, I haven't died yet. And you're like, you're gonna die soon, buddy. It's almost in that kind of style of a video game where it's just like one level after another, and there's like a mission set up, and then you complete the mission, and then you move on to the next thing. Even down to the point of, like, you have to rescue Princess Peach each time. There's the British actor Tim Roth, who plays the father, who's literally in it for, like, 0.2 seconds at the beginning and at the end.
You little pussy.
And then the, like, token hot scientist wife who brings him back to life is played by Haley Bennett, who can have my number anytime she wants. Spoilers! Basically, we wake up, again, all from the perspective of this character, Henry. He's come back to life. Haley Bennett's brought him back to life. She helps him escape once all these, like, minions kind of come in the room and try to stop them. And then for the rest of the movie, he's kind of just rushing around and keeps getting this guide who comes back in and who's playing multiple characters, all the same actor. And it's almost like symbiotes, like they keep coming up and inhabiting these bodies, but they're all sort of being managed by this one scientist. I do like the fact that, for instance, the main character never utters a single word throughout the whole movie. That's pretty cool. I think your older, crustier film reviewers will sort of point at this with the negative connotation of it being sort of like a video game and say, this is bringing about the downfall of civilization, which we all know was going to happen anyway. But they said that about Jackass, they said that about, the monkey's head, I'm sure, I don't know. I think this movie's pretty innovative. I think this is sort of in the same vein as a movie that I reviewed at one point last year, a pretty recent movie called The Road Movie, which was all made up of Russian dashcam footage, and they tried to sort of make a narrative out of that. And this is sort of also, not that, movies that are made to look like they're all done in one shot are a new thing, but, you got movies like Birdman, or you got Victoria, which was actually all in one shot, and Climax, which I'm finally going to go see in theaters very soon. Probably by the time this is out, I've already seen it, and I'm working on the review for it. So I think this is a cool time for movies like that, and I think audiences are more open to seeing it than ever. This is a movie that should have killed on Netflix. In fact, I decided to review it again because I saw it come up on Netflix, and I'd already... Alright, I'm sorry. I torrented it initially, which was part of the reason why it flopped in cinemas. I'm sorry, I thought I wasn't gonna like it, and I did. Spoilers, I liked the movie. I liked it more than I thought I would. I'm surprised I liked it a second time around. It's not a perfect movie, and one of the things is, with a movie like this, when it's so repetitive, when it's so non-plot and character-driven, it could get very tiresome very easily. This is one of the most polarizing movies I've seen in a long time. It's literally right at 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. That could mean it's the most mediocre movie of all time. But man, people are split on it, and that's kind of interesting to me. This could either be the purest action movie we've seen in a long time, or action fans could look at it as like a step backwards and going too far in a direction where, maybe some people want something more narrative and character driven, where the action isn't like the main focus, but it is something that supplements, our emotional ties to the characters. You don't want to play all your cards too quickly, but at the same time, if that's like the main gimmick carrying the movie through 90 minutes, you also want to just keep it coming. So at maybe the hour mark or so, it's just kind of like, alright, I think I get it. It's hard to continuously exceed the expectations of the audience. I mean, the battle at the end, it's just him like fighting an army, and it's just like, alright, I mean, who cares who all these minions are? This is kind of like the perfect movie to just return to clips of it, watch your favorite scenes, or dare I say it, it's a perfect movie to have on in the background on Netflix while you're just futzing with your phone the whole time. I hope David Lynch doesn't hear that. He's gonna jump through the window and kick my ass. Hopefully this movie will catch some more steam as the years go by and it gets more and more of a cult following. Hopefully Netflix will help with that. I don't know if it's still currently on there, but the last time I watched the movie it was on Netflix. I really hope they make a second one, and I hope people go out and see the second one. Again, I'm an asshole. I fucking torrented it. There's even little glimpses of humor in there that are kind of cool. There's a lot of, like, broad, sexual humor, I guess, or whatever, but I'm thinking of one particular sequence that made me chuckle where Hardcore Henry is in the middle of a field and he comes across a horse, and then the theme from, the Lone Ranger or something starts playing, and he jumps on the horse, and you think there's going to be this triumphant sequence of him riding a horse. Then, nope, he just immediately falls off the horse, and the music cuts out, and the horse runs away. It's like, alright, that's a good bit. It's pretty good. So, in conclusion, I think you know who you are if you're going to enjoy this movie. If you're an action fan, see it. If you're on the fence, give it a try, If you're not a fan of violence, do not check it out. Again, I'm not like ooh, I love violence, or, oh, I can't stand violence. I'm not too bothered by it if the movie has some sort of purpose, or if they do it stylistically in some kind of cool way or something like that. A recommendation for me from this one, surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly. And, I think that's about all I have to say as this plane goes overhead. If you're on that plane, Haley Bennett, my number is... I'm so done talking about this movie. This is the third time I've freaking shot this thing, and I'm just done. I'm done. Okay. Stay sexy.